Hey, it's Tim. Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. It's your first time live stream? Welcome. On these live streams, interact with you, the audience, we talk about truck stuff. So I think I hit the live button. It's not going live on my screen, but we will see if we're going live. Can't see the camera. Oh. Yes, it says it's live. That doesn't show it's live. Live in 12 minutes. Huh. Let me click the button again. See what's going on. Hey, Jeff's there. All right, Jeff's there. You're seeing that. I don't know why it's not working on my screen, but I'll refresh my image here. Oh, I got an ad. So that's working. So it just needs to add play. Side note, I'm still a little under the weather, so I'm going to do my best to hold on for you guys for an hour, and we'll talk about truck stuff. The topic is, what's your favorite truck exterior color? I wasn't meaning like what exterior color I would buy. You guys are so into what truck I'm going to buy. It's kind of funny. No, we were talking about last night. I was on, come on, ads. I was on the All Train Nation live stream, and Danny over there was asking me about truck colors, exterior colors, and how much I like the red from the Ford F-150. And it occurred to me that I really don't care about truck colors. It's just, I don't know. It's just not something I think about very often. I guess there's some that I look at now. I think now I'm paying more attention to it, I guess. I mean, the Anvil Gray that's Ram is doing on the TRX, and also the 75th anniversary of the Power Wagon. I mean, that's pretty cool, you know. But yeah, it's not something I pay much attention to, and I thought maybe I'm out there on this one, and it looks like that I am. You guys have lots and lots of opinions about which one's the right color going on. And my face is a weird color. Let's try a different color. I think that's better. There we go. I got to match. See, I have floodlights up there. I got to match the same color of the selfie light, and that's how this stuff works. All right, that's how this stuff works. All right, so red is always first. Red, go gold. Gold. I have a green truck. My Chevy's a green truck. I've had a black S10. I've had a blue Tundra. We have a red Mazda. Just kind of buy whatever. Voodoo Blue, Lunar Rock from Toyota, and that I am blue, silver, black. There was a comment there earlier, cement on the Tundra from Doug. Let's see. Miles Mack, I thought it was pretty funny. He says, in the name of all that is good, don't get white with gray interiors. And I thought about that for a little bit, and I thought, isn't that like a work truck interior? Like, isn't gray white with gray? Isn't that kind of like a stock work truck? Right? I don't know. Destroyer Gray, great idea, says. I like that name. Such a great name. Ford's left foot gray or FCA's Destroyer Gray. Some shade of silver hides the dirt well. Jack Tyler says. Mustang and Race Red. New F-150 and Velocity Blue. I'm looking at Antimatter Blue. I think it's a cool blue. I'm kind of a blue guy. I got blue. You know, maybe I care about exterior color more than letting on. For some reason, I don't know. Who knows? All right. Race Red report. All right, so there we got comments there. So I thought I would give you guys an update as well on the truck buying situation. The local Ford dealer in town, I talked to the sales manager, and he called 41 dealerships trying to find a truck because we wanted to do long bed with the towing and all kind of stuff, and did not find anything. So I reached out to Ford PR directly and was talking to people over there, and they were going to follow up their manufacturing people, and they haven't got back to me yet. But they did tell me that November 30th is the day that the Power Boost, the hybrids, will start shipping out from the plant. So November 30th will be the day that the trucks come off the assembly line and start getting put on rail cars that go to the rail heads to get shipped on smaller carriers that go to dealerships. That's kind of how it works. And so yeah, it sounds like December is got to be the month. December, I mean, A, I'm out of time, but B, there's going to be some hybrids out there in December, a lot more than there are right now. So just being patient. And this is like definitely after Thanksgiving, you know, first before Christmas, around Christmas maybe. I have a pretty good assortment out there. Would be my guess on the truck. That's where it currently stands. I do have to tell you, and this is maybe a precursor to tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, the video drops on the Ford F-150 drive impressions. Now, Jill was able to go to this event in Detroit because local event, she's able to drive in. I couldn't go, that kind of stuff. And would you not know that she drove a crew cab four-wheel drive Power Boost in, I think, a red, and with a 28-foot travel trailer around Ford's Proving Ground. Literally what I want, maybe color whatever, but yes, literally what I want, and she drove around Proving Grounds. And what's really interesting about the video is she drove the hybrid back-to-back with the Power Stroke diesel. It's pretty interesting. I'm really happy the way she did that video. So that comes out tomorrow. And yes, I was having to edit the video, and I was insanely jealous because I was like, I literally would have been at the event driving that configuration, thinking about how I'm going to buy this. It's like, but that's the benefit of having Jill in Chicago and me out here in Nebraska is that we have different takes on stuff, and she can drive to events that, well, with COVID and stuff, I just can't get to. All right, so that's kind of what we're at. Sean DeLong says, I'd say long beds are few and far between. We don't see them anymore. Yeah, I thought Crew Cab 6.5 foot bed would be kind of cool because it's a little bit different, but it sounds like that may be a problem for me to find. And when I talked to Ford PR, I said, I'm not asking for a unicorn, I don't think. I don't think it's a unicorn kind of truck. Crew cab, four-wheel drive, 373 rear axle. There's a 7350 payload kind of setup in that truck, or gross payload package, whatever the deal is. I forget what it is. I looked at a different truck ahead in the Monroney, the sticker on it. Hybrid, and I like to have the power on board, the 7.2 kilowatt. I'd like to have that because I think it'd be an interesting feature to check out. So I'm not asking for the moon. XLT, I'd like to do XLT 302A high package, which, by the way, Ford's packages and stuff they do is just that's a nightmare. That's just ridiculous. So yeah, so that's, and the color is kind of the color. I mean, people are talking about the red. People are talking about the blue, the antimatter blue. I mean, I'm cool with whatever. Let's just give me something. Has the Power Stroke F-150 changed at all? What was it kind of dud? It is interesting. I had that same thought. There is no real specs on fuel economy on this Power Stroke, and they haven't really announced many changes. So I'm not really sure why they even let her drive it, because they actually said in the press release also that the Power Stroke diesel is not available till later on in the year, or probably be, well, next year at this point, spring of 2021. So it's pretty interesting. She got to drive both of those. So yeah. Eric Means, what happened to those trucks in Florida? They're still there. That's still an option too. Eric is getting on a plane and flying to Florida. My dad literally is 20, 30 miles from that dealership. But I will tell you, I did click on a few of those online and went to the dealer site, and the dealer didn't have anything. So I think there's something about, like, they must have pre-ordered that one, and now they're showing that they have it, but they don't. So that's what I'm thinking is going on. I think they pre-ordered some stuff and they used some stock photos to get excitement up, but I don't think the truck actually exists. But I think they're going to be there. Hey, Gene's here. Michael Berry, here in Houston, I can get an XL with a 5.0 liter 4x4 with 101A option group for $39,000. Yeah, that's not a bad price for that. I've been shopping around a lot lately, and it's just not something, the 5-liter cylinder activation is new for 2021, but there's nothing else that's new about that truck. I'm really trying to do the whole new, which is the hybrid situation. And by the way, for the guys that are on here watching this, 24 miles per gallon with a hybrid. Yay? Nay? Were you guys expecting that? I was expecting better EPA numbers. They tell me that the 2-wheel drive has not been EPA rated yet. 4-wheel drive is 24. Kind of interesting. And Jill did a quick mile per gallon loop with that too, so it's her results are interesting there too. And I'm seeing some comments about 392. I tell you what, I wasn't feeling well yesterday either. I'm getting over a cold. I'm feeling at times better. And I was like, wow. And I did the backgrounder on that, so I watched that video a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And I was just watching that video going, this son of a gun's going to sell. A V8 powered Jeep Wrangler. Yes, it's got the 4 doors. Yes, Rubicon only. Upgraded frame, upgraded Dana 44 axles, upgraded Fox suspension, the new tri air filter situation where you can go 35.2 inches through water fording and you still get the airflow coming around, and it disperses the 15 gallons of water per minute away from the engine. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. It's like ductwork built into the bottom side of the hood. The interior with the 392 stitching on the seats and the seat bolster set up, and I was really disappointed that Jeep didn't do this. But in the backgrounder video, so you can watch, they call it a backgrounder. We do the background video. When you watch the video with all the engineers, we asked them to turn it on, like to start it up, to hear the exhaust. because they have the normal mode and they have the let it rip kind of mode, and it sounds really, really good, like you'd expect, really good. It's almost like the TRX exhaust in the 392. And I was disappointed in all the footage I got from Jeep that they did not have that exhaust note really playing well. There's a few points in the B-roll kind of video, which is that background video I used and that I put out in the video. If you haven't seen it, there's a little background video. There's a few points where you hear the exhaust on a turn or something, and I was trying to turn my voice down a little bit and let that kind of play and kind of find a good balance. So I hope you got to hear it the best you could, because you still couldn't hear it very well in that video, but I was trying to give you guys the best sound I could, because that exhaust is going to turn some heads. And I mean, it's cool. And what's really cool with that truck is that SUV, they talked about, they had that in Moab and different places, and they tested that out in the country. No camo. They just drove regular, because it looks like a regular Rubicon if you don't pay that close attention to it. And they just drove it around, because people have modified their Wranglers from the 6-cylinder to the V8 so much in the aftermarket, they didn't have to hide it. Nobody saw it. So they're like, yeah, in the press conference, they're like, yeah, for like 2 years we pulled a fast one on you guys. And that's what they said with the Bronco, was that they weren't competing with the Bronco because they've had in development for like 2 years now, but timing is very suspicious on that stuff too. All right. Sorry. The 2020. Yeah, I'm trying to find 2021. Has Ford addressed the carbon issue on their EcoBoost? I haven't heard any new carbon issues. I haven't heard any recalls on that either. Could be some TSBs. Usually carbon buildup happens on all the engines due to direct injection. And typically you just put premium fuel in there and burn it a little bit hotter. That's how I get rid of carbon buildup. But I haven't heard an issue like that. Faded blue denim. Wasn't that a color last year? Didn't they have a denim blue? I thought it was. Eric Means, I would prefer the 2.7 EcoBoost and XL. Oh, yeah, for that thing. Great idea. I don't see anything other than diesel getting consistently better than 25 miles per gallon, especially a crew cab 4-wheel drive configuration. It is interesting. Brandon says 24 is better than they expected. You know, I tend to believe there's two groups of truck buyers these days. There's the groups that are traditional truck guys who, they're like, man, you give me 24? Holy cow, my other truck got like 15. I mean, they're really excited about that. And then you have this other group of new truck buyers, and there's the first time in trucks, and they're going, I'm going from my Tesla to a truck and I'm only getting 24. Why can't I get 40 in this thing? I've had conversations with people on the comments on this channel who think everything should be hybrid and every full-size truck should get at least 40 miles per gallon. And you don't understand why nobody does a 40 mile per gallon hybrid. They think it's a conspiracy with the oil companies and automakers to not build that truck. And I'm like, I don't see a reason why it would be. Why would the customer not want the best fuel economy they could? I know you don't buy trucks for fuel economy, but it is kind of nice having good fuel economy in a truck. I mean, it is a nice benefit. And so I always think it's interesting. It's like, but you have to understand, aerodynamics wise, a truck to this day is still a big box on wheels. That's what it is. It's a big square going down the road with some wheels on it. I don't know about you guys, but it sure doesn't look like a Corvette. And Corvette does all sloped and stuff to get that wind resistance around it. This is not what we're talking about. That was pretty interesting. Ford, the Mighty Casey says, Ford, if we put the new 1.3-liter EcoBoost 3-cylinder in F-150, it will sell. FCA snorts Coke. You all get a 700 horsepower V8 Jeep. It is really funny. What I thought was hilarious about the Jeep 392 is that, it's like a month ago, they were like, Jeep was talking about their 4xe, about their hybrid, how they're going to get, run electric power, and it's going to be great. We're going to have, offer that choice. So now you can get electric kind of hybrid powered Jeep 392. You can get the base V6 that probably do better in fuel than the V8, and you get the big V8. So you talk about a vehicle that's offering, I mean, for every range of buyer. Like it's pretty insane what they're able to offer this Jeep. It's pretty impressive. Brandon, FC has an obsession with having the absolute best off-roaders in all categories. Yeah, I do think it's interesting that the new head of Stellantis, whatever the guy says. Sorry, he was talking about how they're not going to invest any more internal combustion engines at all. They're done with these things. They're not going to do anything more. So that means no more investment in new Hellcat engines, no more investment in new internal combustion engines. And I'm thinking, guys, Ram and Dodge are building their brand on high performance engines and lots of horsepower. Like, where do you think those customers are going to come from, and where those customers are going to go when you stop building better internal combustion engines? Like, yeah, go ahead and stop building the Hellcat. Go ahead and build a hybrid again, and just offer a hybrid Prius in your Ram. So that's going to sell. Like, I just, it's like we make these grandiose statements, and then you go back and look at what the customer is actually buying, and it's like, you're a business. You are in the business of making money. So you better damn well get the customer what they want. That's how things work. Like, if I decide to take this channel and become doing like goat yoga, like, would you guys watch? Hell no. That's not how a channel works. I want to give you what you guys want. This is a business. I'm providing content you guys want to see. That's a business. It just kills me. Mighty Case, except towing with off-road packages, payloads are all garbage. John Sotomayor. John, what's up, buddy? If the F-150 hybrid and diesel are similar mile per gallon, what's the benefit of one or the other? It is a good question, and I think that's what I was so excited about what she did the video was she doesn't tow very much. She's not a big tow kind of person, but she really hits the nail on the head on feeling the differences in towing between the hybrid and the diesel. Now, I can't tell you anymore. It's all embargoed. Tomorrow morning you'll watch the video. It's about 20 minutes. I cut it down. She sent me like an hour of video, but I cut it down to about 20 minutes. It's pretty good. It's pretty much to the point, and I think it's pretty interesting. And I think you guys are gonna have the same question that I'm gonna have. And I may do another hybrid video after this to really discuss like what is the pro and con now that we know fuel economy and price, and we know how it tows, and we know all this kind of stuff now that we didn't know before. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to get in trouble with Ford PR if I say too much. But we'll talk more about this. Trust me. You guys will fire enough the comments. It's a pretty interesting video, and I thought she did a really good job on it. Mr. My favorite truck color is green. Yeah, no. Remember there used to be like a lot of forest green truck colors, and they all went away. I don't know. But again, yeah, I really like the deep forest green that came on the ZR2 and the army green on the Taco. Fire engine red and graphite are tied for a close second. I guess I never really had an opinion on this, but like I said, I was asked about this last night in All Train Nation, and the only thing I didn't like was I don't like some of the bland silvers. To me, some of the bland silvers and some of the bland whites are like your fleet trucks. It's not that interesting to me. Big fan of two-tones. I do like the Ram two-tones. They stand up pretty nice. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. Todd Gordon, 700-mile range on a 30-gallon tank equals 23.33 mile per gallon repeating. So it checks out. Oh, we're looking at the mile per gallon. Yeah. But I thought the hybrid had a 36-gallon tank, Todd. I think you can get a 36-gallon, I thought, in the hybrid. Again, a little sick. Sorry if I messed that up. But I thought it was 36-gallon. I was talking about the difference between diesel and hybrid. They're working full-size trucks. Nissan Nation Productions when you're getting a Titan XD to review. Yeah. When are those out there? I think the only way a gas half-ton ever gets much better than 24 is a plug-in hybrid. Yeah, I mean, plug-in hybrids make no sense to me. Hybrids don't. Miles Max says hybrids don't improve mileage in open road, only start-stop driving. Agreed. They do improve in city driving, and she's got some information. I think she talks about that. She talks about fuel economy. She doesn't talk about driving around town, but I have heard that people have been driving around town getting better than 24 around town. So I think it's kind of interesting. It's I don't know. Again, I'm not going to say too much, but tomorrow. It's going to be pretty interesting what happens. Eric Mings, LOL, my old Ram Charger gets 8 mile per gallon, 24 is pretty good. Yeah, I know. I think my Chevy gets 6, downhill, stiff breeze. There are many factors affecting fuel economy. Jeff Cordetti says, yep, I get you. Hybrids don't appeal, that we already said that. Michael Berry, the Tesla doesn't weigh 5,800 pounds. I don't buy a truck fuel economy. My 4.6 has great fuel economy. I can get 125 miles per quarter tank with a 30-gallon tank. Yeah. Most guys, fuel economy is funny because if you talk to the automakers, they give you a list of what consumers are actually buying trucks for, and it's a list of what consumers are demanding. And fuel economy is like in the top 5 of most people. But it's not like I have to have this much fuel economy. It's not that statement. It's that I just want a truck with good fuel economy. And the variable, or I guess the variable there being good, or the lack of words, but whether it's good or not is really dependent on the person. And so If you feel it's good, it's good, you know? So if you feel like you went from 8 to 24, you'd be like, man, this is awesome. But you are traditional, you've had trucks, you've had big SUVs, you have big Ram Chargers, you had that kind of stuff before. And so I think that's what the difference is. New customers coming to the marketplace are demanding more luxury, better ride, and better fuel economy. And traditional truck guys are like, it's a truck. What's the deal? And so you have these imposing forces going on. It's amazing. It's crazy how many engine options there are in the JL5 now. The old JL only one engine. I know, it's just bizarre. Great idea. I had a friend that had a V10 F250. They got 6 miles per gallon empty or pulling 15,000 pounds. I've heard the same story from other people too. It's like half ton, 3/4 ton gets the same fuel economy, loaded or unloaded. It's pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure the Titan XD Pro 4X has the highest payload and towing in the half ton range. Yeah, if the XD, it's like a gray market kind of truck though. I'm in the market for a truck next year, waiting to see what happens to the platform. A lot of questions about whether or not that platform still exists. Pretty interesting. JD is here. Big truck, big RV. Sorry, buddy, I'm a little under the weather, but I'm glad you made it. He says, I need a hybrid F450, quad turbo, 2.0 liter turbo EcoBoost. Right? Right? I don't know, buddy. I've seen you driving around those Chevys lately, and then seeing some of the Rams lately. I don't know. I'm seeing maybe some change in the brand there, buddy. I don't know. How does the plug-in EV work in Western Nebraska? So Miles, I had one. I had a Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, what do you call it thing? The Mitsubishi SUV plug-in hybrid. And I plugged it in, I want to say I plugged it in for 7 hours. Because my plan was to go play golf in a course north of town. I was going to do a fuel economy test. My buddy, we're going to go play golf, come back. The course was probably 200 miles away. And I remember I plugged it in, I feel like ridiculous, like 6-7 hours. I don't know what it was. It was a ridiculous amount of time. And I drove from here across town, which was 5-6 miles, and I ran out of the battery. so I was like, I think in the story, I figured it out where I had spent, maybe I was a couple hours of charging, maybe it wasn't like 6-7, but I had spent more in electricity charging that vehicle than I got saving on fuel economy driving across town when I figured out how much fuel was per gallon. It was like I spent $2 electricity and inconvenience fee, and I would have saved $1.50 in gas fuel economy. This was the dumbest thing. Like I don't plug-in hybrids. I just don't understand them. So it is interesting. Jill and I are doing a combo review. I'm getting a BMW X3 something or other plug-in. I'm sorry, I'm not a big BMW kind of guy, but I do enjoy driving them. They're fun to see something different, and it's a plug-in. And so I'm going to talk about how it doesn't work in the country, but she used it in the city. She actually had it 2 weeks ago, and she filmed a segment on how it's going to work in the city. So we're going to kind of throw this back and forth to each other. So it's going to be interesting how that works. But yeah, I don't know about that one. Eric's here. Gene, who wants to see Tim do goat yoga now? No, you don't want to see it. A lot of plumber butt going on. What would happen to FCA if Tesla ever failed? FCA needs the carbon credits. Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting what's happening there. FCA's, doing more electricity with the hybrids, and I don't know, but people keep buying the V8s. Hey Tim, glad to see you're back on your feet, well upright anyways. Yeah, thanks Rick. It's a nasty cold. Just today I'm clear-headed. I just have a little nasally left, and I'm a little tired. That's leftover. John is here. Sorry I'm late to the party, but Leadfoot F-150 with a black appearance package all day long. I've always heard people with a black appearance package. I had a black S10, and cleaning it was just kind of a thing. Actually, payload in Titan XD is dismal. Argument going on there. The battery would have to be the size of the big RV with the, hybrid F450 for sure. No, Tim and Goat Yo guys, making a joke. Color choice. I favor a light color like white or silver. Love the darker colors, but really a pain to keep plain. I don't know. White seems like it's a fleet truck to me. Am I wrong on that? I'm not doing yoga. 2,000 pounds, Pro 4X. All right. A bright red is also nice too. Okay. Brandon, I liked when Chevy had over 300 color combinations back in 67, 72. 300? Wow. Isn't white the most popular? To me, that don't believe in paying extra for paint. Yes, James, it is. I think white is still the most popular color in the country. Mighty Casey, TFL had their video and showed 2,100 pounds in the door jam. Oh, we're talking about the XD. I can't get an XD. They just won't send it to me. You still get crazy color choices on the Ram Classic. You can get, the Ram has a ton of colors, like two-tone, all sorts of stuff. White for Mike. What was really strange with the F-150 hybrid rating was a 24, 24, 24. Usually the difference between city and highway. That's because the hybrid. Hybrid usually equals out better city. That's the one other guy said. Stop sign, the start and stop hybrid does better because you're running more on electric power than you are on the highway. But I thought it was interesting the numbers are all the same. Like usually you have a little, like 1 or 2 difference here and there. Jeff says I get around 21 miles per gallon in my 19 TRD Pro 6-speed manual. I didn't realize you had a TRD Pro along with Jax. Is it Jax? I think that's your Ford. 1920 mile per gallon highway in the Ram with a 321 in all terrains. Interesting. 22 mile per gallon is super respectable for a V8 and half ton depending on the gearing. 1618 is a dream come true. I agree with that. Mile per gallon is super, let's see. Mile per gallon only matters when gas creeps up towards a $3.40 to $4 per gallon price. Yeah, I would think that fuel prices do matter. I've done a few studies on this. Like I've gone back time and done some videos on this. And I have found that even when fuel economy gets up to like $5 a gallon, that trucks and SUVs still sell, just not the same volume. They still sell because people need the utility of that vehicle. They just do. I mean, you can't go replace a truck with a sedan. It just doesn't work. Damn, you get 15, 19, 20 on your Ram. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. It is impressive. According to you and Mom. Oh, okay. In order to get 22 miles per gallon on the highway, you really have to go easy on throttle and slow too. Yeah, I've seen some guys do hyper mileage. I had a guy drove from San Diego to Chicago and got like 35 mile per gallon highway out of an EcoDiesel. Now, he is a super hyper miler. He's one of those guys that takes like an hour and a half to get on the highway because he's slowing up, going up the speed. But he did push that truck to get that much out of it. Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. Yeah, that's what it is. Was it Outlander? I thought it was Eclipse Sport. Maybe it was an Outlander. I don't know. I get one Mitsubishi a year. Can you touch 15? All right. When is the Titan? Christopher Sanchez. When is the Titan and the Titan XD going to be killed off in the United States? My guess is Titan XD will be next year, and they're keeping it alive because they have leftover parts and things they didn't sell, and frames and stuff like that they didn't sell due to COVID. My guess, Nissan Titan hangs around for at least 4 or 5 more years. It seems likely that they're going to keep that truck going because they need a competitor in the United States. So I don't think Nissan Titan's going anywhere because the R&D is already paid for and there's made slight changes, 2020 model. But I think the Titan XD is definitely going to be killed off. Is there a rumor about the Ford Ranger Raptor getting the 6 auxiliary switches in the U.S. for 2020 model year? There's a ton of rumors about the Ranger Raptor. I don't know if the Ranger Raptor is going to happen, especially with the Ranger Tremor. Seems like that may have solved some of the demand there, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk about rumors. I don't know specifically on interior about auxiliary switches yet because we haven't really seen anything in the Ranger Raptor. You know, we know about the Ranger Raptor in Australia and overseas, but not in the United States. If that's, Mighty Casey, if that 6.6 Sierra was given a 10-speed, I'd go for it, assuming the 10th gear is like the 0.51 versus 0.68 compared to now, I think. You know, I think 10-speed is going to make it there at some point, but it's not going to be, I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. It seems like that'd be something they could have done at launch, but I guess it'll wait a couple more years because usually you make changes in 3 years. Every 3 years make a change. Race red F-150. I've heard a couple times this red F-150. You guys seem like a big fan of this red F-150. White looks good with chrome. All right, Thomas says white looks good with chrome package. I'll give you that one. Hydro Blue Pearl, as in the 2020 Dodge Power Wagon. That Power Wagon, man. That Power Wagon's awesome. Dodge has a Hunter green back in the late 90s. It was sweet. Yeah, the green went away. If you own a white 3/4 ton, the Mighty Case says, you can drive anywhere, no questions asked. It's like carrying a ladder into your business. No one says anything. Probably drive a white truck into Area 51, no problem. Right? Because we were like, you must be here to work, right? Exactly. Great minds right there. Definitely great minds. Eric, Tim, get a 2020 Power Wagon and order exactly what you want for the F-150 next year. It's a question. It's on there. That's a question. Apple's something about it. Oh, there's a Facebook group for managed transmission Tacoma owners? Really? That's impressive. Kind of rusty. I don't know one anymore. My buddy gets 23 miles per gallon in his 2012 6.7 liter Cummins, Riley says. It's got to be deleted, I would guess. Or you can't say that out loud. John says 2020 Lariat loaded to 2021 Lariat loaded. What percentage more cash? That's a good question. That's interesting because you always talk about, we know how much they go up year to year, but like they said no. They always talk. Automakers always talk about how there's no real changes. Like we kept the number within a couple $100, but then they don't talk about the fact all the options they've added on. So between the model years, because 2021 was a new model, there's new features and new standard equipment that's going to raise the price because the package will be a little bit higher. So when you do loaded versus, your intro Lariat, probably $100, $200 difference because they always try to keep those prices pretty the same. But your loaded versions would be probably more different. I've seen anywhere from $3,000, $4,000 difference when you start going loaded and loaded. So that's, I don't know, it's pretty interesting. And then, you have the other thing with the 2020, you'll have more incentives than 2021 because it's new and not much supply in dealer lots. So lots of variables there. But then you get more, right, with the more options and things if you do loaded for 2021. Interesting. Carl's here. Light Quasar Blue is a GM truck color in the early 90s. It's a very rare one out in Metro Detroit. Did you secure enough money to get the arrows for the... No, I'm not buying the Hercules 6x6. Oh, Carl, yes. Not doing that one. I'm pretty excited about upcoming Ford Maverick. Graded here says, the American market is screaming for a mini truck. I wrote a story about that last week about what to expect in that. I think it's going to be really pared down, really basic. 2.3 liter, 10-speed, a crew cab, an extended cab, maybe no regular cab. I think it's probably going to have a 5-foot bed, but it's going to be a smaller platform. It's going to be easier to get in the bed. It's going to be a smaller. To me, it's like a Ranchero kind of setup, kind of deal. So it'll be interesting to see what happens coming out. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to come out with. And there's also the fact that the Hyundai Santa Cruz has got green lighted yet again. And so Hyundai is saying that next year, the Santa Cruz will be Santa Cruz pickup, which will literally be a, what's their SUV? Tucson? It'll be a Tucson with a bed. Or is there a bigger one? I think it's a Tucson with a bed. That's literally what that's going to be. So, yeah, it's going to be out there. Brandon, I'm so tired of the Ranger Raptor rumors. It's not even an exciting truck anymore. And no, rumors have been out for a long time. For whatever reason, does Ford build a Ranger Raptor? Jeep will throw a V8 in a Gladiator. Yeah, I'm surprised the V8 Gladiator didn't get green lighted. That was a little surprise too. Zesty meatballs. That's great. Have you heard about GM is having problems, having issues as parent? Have you heard about the issues GM is having pairing the 5.3 liter V8 with 10-speed? For the rest of 2021 model year, they switched all over to a 5.3 liter 10-speed to an 8-speed. Oh, I had not heard of that. Interesting. I had not been. Try to keep abreast of most of that stuff, but I had not heard that issue. I wonder if it's not a pairing issue. I wonder if it's a supply issue. There's a few supplier issues they're having because of COVID, and they're running low on parts. I think there was a Ford talked about that too. They had with the F-150. No, a recent story with Ford talking about how they're concerned with parts. Parts are a big issue. With get these mom and pop shops that supply parts. They're not mom and pop so much anymore, but when you take out like half the staff because of COVID, because of quarantine, you lose a lot of parts production. And these guys do what they call just-in-time production. So, when you're building a truck, you don't have a backlog of parts. They're not just laying around. You have just-in-time. You're trying to get the parts to the factory at the same time you're trying to build a truck. You're trying to keep inventory levels low, and that way increases profitability. But then when you have issues like, it was a couple years ago, there was either earthquakes or there was something happened to plants in Georgia. It must not have been earthquakes, it must have been hurricanes, and the transmission plants were closed down, and that created bottlenecks production because they were short on transmissions. I'd be curious to see if that was an issue there. If you have a link, let me know, but send it to tim@pickuptrucktalk.com, and I can follow up with GM and get an official statement on why they're doing that. But I would guess that is going to be a parts issues. Riley says, yes, all our trucks breathe here in Ohio. Mighty Case, isn't the 8-speed junk though? Yeah, you know, what's interesting about that is there's a guy who commented in one of my videos, and he says he's a tuner. And he says he's got tons of 8-speed automatic transmissions that he's fixed. He's like, look, it says it's simple. He switches out the transmission oil to a mobile oil. I think it's mobile. And he does a tune to it to increase the power of the engine to fit better with the transmission. And he goes, it's done. He goes, I fixed dozens of transmissions by doing those two small things. And I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know why. I guess I don't know why there's more information about that. But I have heard some of the TSBs have talked about this with GM, the 8-speed, that they're swapping that transmission oil. It's not the parts of the issue. They feel like the transmission oil is a problem. And so they're swapping transmission fluid out, and that's fixing or addressing part of those issues. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Seventh Kev wants to know. By the way, I don't usually drink Diet Coke this late at night, but I keep my energy up. Do you prefer lowered trucks or lifted trucks? And which one will you choose, a lifted, a lowered half-ton, or a lifted, a lowered three-quarter-ton? I don't prefer either, and for two reasons. I don't prefer lowered trucks because when you lower the truck, you tend to hit the bump stops more because when you load up in the bed, and you have some issues with service. I remember I was watching Eric the Car Guy, as a YouTuber. I watch him quite a bit fixing stuff, and he went off on this whole thing about lowered trucks and how much he hates them because you can't service them as far as getting to the oil filters because you got to lift the truck up now to work on yourself. Now, if you take them into a shop where they have the bay down below, you get the filters. So it's interesting. It's not a thing that I like lowered trucks. I mean, I like my 62 is the best because I just slide right across the seat. I don't like always having to hop up into trucks. That's the thing that gets me in lifted trucks is that I'm always having to climb into it. And I've had some tall trucks. I mean, I'm a short guy. I've had some tall trucks for loans for a week. And some of those, like, especially the three-quarter tons. Three-quarter tons become really tall for whatever reason. 1 ton's not very tall. Half ton's not that tall, but three-quarter tons got to be tall. And after a week of getting in and out of the three-quarter ton, I'm just tired. It's like, I get to the point where I'm like, I don't want to go get in the truck, which sucks because I love trucks. But I don't want to have to go like climb in and climb out. And, you know, it's like, I understand the appeal of lifted trucks and being able to see the road higher and all this kind of looks to it and that kind of things. But trucks are pretty tall anyways. Like half-ton trucks are pretty tall. And so I already see enough of the road, so I don't have a need there. So I don't think I'd lift or lower any of my trucks. I like them stock. I am thinking about different tires I could test out. Actually, I was just talking to my neighbor about this, and we get some pretty hellacious blizzards through this area in the winter. And our bitch is that the city doesn't plow our streets because we're a non-essential route, yada, yada, yada. And we've talked back and forth, and we kid each other about one of us needs to buy a damn plow for our truck. And it occurred to me that there is a snow plow prep package for the F-150, and I have plowed with the F-150. And I thought, you know, I wonder about buying a plow because I really do want to plow. Plowing snow for non-work purposes is kind of fun. I mean, if I had to do it for a job, it'd suck because it's a job, right? But plowing snow is pretty fun. And I thought, man, I could buy a snow plow prep kit for the truck, get a plow, and I could write it all off business because I could do videos on it. And I could show you guys, I would not only buy a truck, and instead of doing the lifted and lowered modifications and tires and tunes and all this kind of stuff, I would actually buy a plow. I'm like, how unique would I be on YouTube? I'd be like the only truck guy out there with a brand new truck went and got the plow, and I'm going to show you the plow with it. And I could, yeah. So that's currently on the list of things I'm thinking about is buying a plow for this F-150. I'm thinking I could actually do that at the dealership. I could get a plow for this thing. And how cool would that be? I mean, have you ever heard of an F-150 hybrid review with a plow? I don't think you have. I'm telling you, it'd be unique. Hey, Dave's here. Just talking about your thing. Jason Thatch, do you know if the Ford F-150 has cylinder deactivation on the EcoBoost engines? It's not an EcoBoost, it's the 5-liter V8. Now, Ford does offer cylinder deactivation on an EcoBoost, but it's sold in Europe. But pretty much confirmed that the EcoBoost does not have cylinder activation. It's only on the 5-liter. And that means that Nissan and Toyota are the only two manufacturers that offer a V8 engine without cylinder deactivation. And I'm going to tell you, next generation Tundra, if they have a V8, which is always up in the air, which is a little bold, but if they have one, it's going to get cylinder deactivation. I mean, cylinder deactivation is just, it's going to become standard across the lineup. Is there a difference between the diesel and gas 10 speeds and the Ford Super Duty? If there isn't a good reason, GM, okay. Bud Guy, is there a difference between the diesel and gas 10 speeds and the Ford F Super Duty? I want to say yes, there is, because the diesel produces more torque, so they're going to make some changes to some of the parts and how it works. I believe the answer to that is yes. I did really double check that, Bud, though. If there isn't, don't see a good reason GM doesn't do the same thing as Ford, like dark blue. Oh, he likes dark blue and green colors. Yeah, I think the 10 speed's going to come to the gas. I think it's, like I said, I wonder if it's a supply issue. I wonder if there's another issue there, because it just makes sense. Ford went 10 speed. Like if you look at across our lineup, it's like 10 speeds, 10 speeds, 10 speeds. You know, every new vehicle, 10 speed. The new Ford Flex, I think it is 10, or not Ford Flex, but the Ford SUV has 10 speed. I mean, everything they're doing is 10 speed. It seems like everybody's going to go that route. Fuel economy, tuning it. I mean, it's just a lot of different features there to make a benefit. Does anyone know what the cost of a manufacturer to put a new drivetrain through the EPA? My old boss said it was like $500,000, and that was 80s decade numbers. I don't know that it's going to be. I don't know what the number is, but I know it's really expensive, and that's why they're very particular when they do it. Now, what happens is the automakers self-certify their EPA numbers, and then the EPA will pull one or two and double check the manufacturer. So it's a lot of stuff going on there, but I know it's pretty expensive. Will El Camino come back when Maverick arrives? Eric, yes. I think if here's how the truck world is going to work. If Ford can sell the Maverick, then you bet your ass everybody else is going to bring a new truck out in that same size. That's what's going to happen. You just get one person to start doing it, everybody's going to do it. Look, Ram sold a bunch of half-ton diesels. Guess what happened? Everybody offered half-ton diesels. You know, I mean, when anybody breaks through the marketplace like that and comes with something that has volume behind it, yeah, they're going to definitely go for that. Was worth a shot. What are your thoughts on Gladiator perhaps getting a similar treatment to the Wrangler Rubicon 392? Carl wants to know. I think it's a matter of time. That makes a lot of sense. Dave, most do not understand that just in time for building these, every part is accounted for before the part reaches the plant. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If the supplier chain gets disturbed a little bit, it creates some big issues. And I wonder about transmission if that's the issue, because there's really, you know, like Bud Guy said, there's really no reason why GM wouldn't offer that across the board. I know there's some differences in some of the setup and some of the tuning because of the way that diesel produces power, but it's not like you're talking about two radically different parts. I mean, I can't imagine they're that much different. I do know that in like the high output 6.7 liter Cummins, the one gets 1,000 whatever foot-pounds of torque. I do know that transmission is different than the regular Ram transmission. I know that's a change. And that transmission is substantially different because of the parts and things they put in that transmission. But I mean, that's a special use case. I don't know that why'd be much difference there elsewhere. Okay, I'm gonna battle this one out, guys. I'm doing what I can. Mighty Casey, when do you think the engine options will go down in numbers? I mean, does F-150 need 5 to 8 engine options? Does Chevy really need 2 to 3 transmissions? I think they'll go down. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand why Ford offers a 3.3 liter V6. I know they say it's for fleets, but when I look around the country and I was shopping for trucks, there's a lot of people buying a 2.7 liter for fleets. You get better fuel economy, you get better power, you know, it's more fun to drive, and so I don't understand the 3.3 liter. I don't understand why there's still a 6-speed offered in Ford. I think the 3.3 has a 6 behind it. I think that was what I was looking at. And now everything else has got 10. It seems a little strange to me. It does seem like we could kind of cut these things down. But then you look at the stuff like, they're talking about that new 6.2 liter V8 for the Ford F-150. I mean, they're literally talking about doing that. There's that plant in Canada, Unifor guy said, hey, we're going to build this engine. So, you know, you look at Ford, and Ford's actually adding to it. If you look at, they're going to do an electric truck, which I didn't say, I want to say this last night, I get a chance to, but I think based on the Transit being electric Transit, being for commercial use, I think the F-150 is going to be commercial. The electric truck's going to be commercial based only. I don't think you're going to see an F-150 electric for the consumer yet. Based on what my feeling is, my gut feeling on this, my heart, my gut, my belly, my gut feeling on this is that the F-150 will be a commercial based truck, because if you look at the range of the Transit, it's like 126 miles, at best case scenario, most likely 70 miles loaded down. Payload's like insane on that, like 4,000 pounds, something like that. So I think what you're looking at there is you're looking at Ford's going to enter the commercial space with an EV only. I think that's what that truck's going to start off with. So a lot of excitement about Ford electric truck, but I don't know. I'm less optimistic of that truck being the big, game changer that people think it's going to be. I think it's going to be an electric truck, and I think that you're going to have an EV for the Ford for electric for fleets, like in-town fleets, and you'll have the 2.7. Seems like, to me, that's the answer. I understand people have different needs, but it does seem like, especially with Ford, and they kind of learned this lesson over the years, is that one of the reasons Ford succeeds is the number of options they have. Like, you can order a Ford any sort of configuration you want. Like, I've been building them for a while, and you can build any sort of configuration you want within some reason. There's some, packages that have to have certain engines, things like that, but you have a lot of choices. They actually still offer a column shifter and a console shifter. I mean, they do both. And so I think that's one of Ford's challenges in turning bigger profit is they have got to reduce some of the options to get more profit. That's why Toyota is so successful, because Toyota, you can only get, this many colors, that many transmissions, that many engines. They really simplify it. That just equals a lot of profit. And so there's that pro and con there back and forth. But it does seem odd that there's going to be a situation where you have that many powertrains. I just don't see the profit there. It's hard to make a profit that many different choices. Mitsubishi's looking to sell Mitsubishi. Jeez. Nissan is looking to sell Mitsubishi. I saw that story today too. I think Nissan is cash strapped and still needs to free up capital. Mitsubishi has good equity that can cash out on. I think they sell it too. Mitsubishi doesn't really fit anywhere. I don't know why Mitsubishi's still in business because of globally, but in the U.S. it's basically dead. Let's see. What are your thoughts about the new Ford engine, the 6.8 liter V8 for the rumors for the F? Yeah, I just talked about that. Is it 6.8? Is it 6.2? I think I'm wrong. It must be 6.8. Yeah, I think it's exciting. I just don't know. It just seems like it's a lot, but GM does this, right? So GM's got the 5.3 and the 6.2. Ram's got this, right? So you get the supercharged 6.4 or the 5.7. So I think they want to compete with that, and I think that they're going to offer more choices, more engines. But man, that's a lot of choices. It just seems like Ford's trying to be everything to everybody, and I really worry about that a little bit as far as what makes sense. Now, the Raptor is supposed to come out because the new F-50, they always do the Raptor afterwards. And I would tell you the biggest criticism of that truck has been the exhaust note. They really screwed it up when they did the refresh on that. And I told them that when they did it. But I think the bigger V8, people just want that. It's like you don't buy a Raptor fuel economy. And yes, the turbo is faster. Like the turbocharged 3.5, that Raptor is faster than the old Raptor. But who the hell cares when it sounds like a grocery cart, like with an electric motor on it or something like that? I mean, I'm making something up, but it's like the whole visceral experience of driving a truck gets lost on people. And I say this in groups, I get laughed at. People are like, why? People laugh at me for wanting an exhaust note in a truck. And I'm like, to me, driving a truck is everything about it. That's one thing that I'm going to miss about buying a hybrid is that the exhaust note's going to suck. And I know it's going to suck. And I don't like it. And I'm going to tell you guys in the video, multiple times when I drive the F-150, I'm going to be like, this sucks because the exhaust note's bad. And, to me, it's like, I guess I'm still a young enough guy that wants to hear a good V8. I like the sound of it. So I always think that's interesting. There's always these arguments. I have people that say that, it's like, why would you want that? I said, I'm sad about EVs coming because the exhaust note's going to be nothing. I don't want it piped in. I don't want to hear it piped in. But trust me, I watch enough NFL games on Sunday. I'm sick of stuff being piped in. I don't want to hear the fans being piped in. I turn it off at the time. I can't even watch the NFL anymore. And it's like, I don't want to hear. The World Series was terrible. Fans being piped in. No, I don't want that. I want to hear it. I want the whole experience of owning a truck. There's a reason my 62's got dual exhaust. I mean, come on. Whoever is that lower truck price wants to be. I don't think anything wrong with lower trucks. I don't think anything wrong with lifted trucks. I think people like them. I have a cousin who, man, he lifts everything and he loves it. But I just know for myself, I get tired of it after a while. That might be a link to the article downgrading the 8 from 6. Yeah, send that to me. I'd be curious to hear what the reason is in the article. And I can do some more. Find fat in 2004. You can find an A-tent for you, Silverado. Okay. So why doesn't GM do that? That's Daniel BC. Rick wants to know why GM doesn't do that. Oh, the 8-speed and 10-speed. I think you guys still. I'm probably way behind. Yeah. So I'm sure that there's something going on there with that. Tim, what's your thought on a level truck? You know, I've seen those a lot. I've seen people do that, and I think it looks better. I think a level truck does look better. I will give you that. Mike says down below, in my opinion, not good to change the center of gravity of your vehicle, Tim. Stock ride height for me. And there's something to that. I mean, engineers spend a lot of time trying to get the ride quality just right, and then we lift it and lower it and level it, and it causes all that stuff to go. And then all of a sudden we have problems with tires, or we have problems with noise, or we have problems with axle shafts, or all sorts of stuff can happen because you're changing things up. I don't mind a level truck. I think a level truck is fine with me. I like the look of it. I like the idea. It's a little bit bigger in the front, just because the way that the leveling comes up. So I don't have a problem with that. And that could be something. I could probably level the hybrid, the F-150 I'm going to buy. I could probably do that. I wouldn't lift it. I just wouldn't lower it. You know, it's just not my thing. And nothing against. I mean, again, people love that stuff, and more power to them. It's just not my thing. But I could level it. I could see that being something I would probably do. The only challenge you're on in a leveling truck is you're going to raise that front end up a little bit, so you will lose some visibility, off-road, or like, parking in a tight parking spot. You lose some visibility there because you're not able to see over the sides. But trucks have gotten so damn tall anyways. I mean, I can't see over the side of them anyways, so I'm not really losing anything. But yeah, I don't know. I could see that. I could definitely do that. Don't do that, bro. Snow plows will destroy the front of the truck. Let's understand here. I'd probably use the snow plow 4 times a year. 3-4 times a year. So I'm not going to do it very much, but it just kind of got me fun. I was just like, why not? Don't you need to get 5.0 to get plow package? Do you? Oh, damn it, that kills it. Man, that sucks. That just kills. Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'll pester Ford and I can do it. Well, because the plow package for the half tons, Daniel, is built for homeowners. For homeowners who don't commercially plow, just do it. So if you commercially plow, yeah, you need a 3/4 ton, you need you need a bigger truck. But if you're just plowing your driveway a couple times a year, that's what the half ton's for. So you can do that. Cylinder activation sucks. Lots of people don't like cylinder activations. Plows weren't allowed on the old EcoBoost, Tim. Intercooler airflow. Well, damn it, you guys suck. Get the Fisher V-Plow. I thought about buying. I have thought about this. Is that they have a lot of farmer auctions around here, and I thought, man, I need to go buy an old truck with a plow on it. That's what I need to do. Let's see. EPA is killing them. Yeah. Show, what's that? With that plow, you're working your ass off during a big snowstorm. Well, we get like 2 a year, maybe 1 or 2 a year. So I'd just be having fun. I get so bored sitting inside the house, like playing on the internet, like waiting for the snow to melt. Like it'd be fun to go out there. All right, you guys got me. It's got to have a 5-liter V8. Gosh darn it. Probably have lower resales than people think. Yeah, I know. I would have less resale. That's true. Gosh darn it. A-tent for GM for your accessories for Silverado. Fessel is here. How you doing, Fessel? Fiesel? Gosh, I'm trying. Yaz is here. Yep. Ford had way too many options. Yes. The problem with the reduced reliability is possible to attain the same QDR with forced induction versus naturally aspirated? Ooh, great ideas, dropping the knowledge bombs there. What's going to happen to all the gas trucks in 20 years? They're all going to be switched over to hybrid or different electric with gasoline combination. That's how I see it. Toyota needs to add a long warranty on the twin turbo V6. Otherwise, I think a lot of people won't buy it. You know, and I'll be excited to drive the Ford. You know, my first time driving the Ford, but also the first time driving EcoBoost for a year. And I'll be curious to get my thoughts on that turbocharger. Thanks for shout out. Yeah, anytime, Dave. Bingo, Eric. 3.3 gets 10 speed for 2021. Did that change? I was looking at the towing chart. Maybe it changed. I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of stuff ringing out. Okay, so Riley wants to know, what'd you do for work before YouTube and the website? Oh, so initially I started a business doing web design and PR and graphic design and PR for nonprofits. I did that for about 10 years, I think it was. And then I did a bunch of freelance writing. I used to freelance for Truck Trend magazine, which is, I think it's right there behind me. There's, I got magazines. Let me change the camera. But that is all magazines that I've been in and stuff like that and things like, you know, those are my stories. And there's a Boston Globe over there and some cool stuff. So I did a bunch of freelance writing, and then I got into doing podcasts, which is where the truck comes from in the name. And then I started doing YouTube, because just kind of evolved from there. Now I just do the website and YouTube. So, I mean, I've spent the last, well, I was doing my other business for 12 years. So I spent the last 10 years being involved in trucks and spending time in trucks and covering that market. So I've built a lot of knowledge over the time, and I live out here in truck country. I mean, I'm always driving trucks and always working. I help a farmer once in a while bringing his corn in his old truck. So that's always a good time. And just try to be around as much as I can. I'm a shady tree mechanic. I don't do a lot. I do work on my own truck. I don't do anything more than that. I grew up in a GM family. My dad was a truck guy, and he worked in truck side of GM. So I've just always been around trucks. Oh, fleet mechanic would only expect a 3.3 non-turbo and 6-speeds. Keep it cheap and simple. Yeah, I can see that from a fleet mechanic standpoint. Sure. Does GM have a fix for bent frames of 2015 Chevy Colorado? You know, bent frames are really a lot of owner abuse. I haven't seen anything that happens from factory. Toyota, you need to pay an extra for a tailgate lock as an option too on the mid to higher trims. Yeah, I mean, it's the reason why they make money. Oh yeah, Nissan's selling Mitsubishi. I think they're trying to find somebody to buy it. I think they're just going to spin them off. Toyota will be the only half-ton maker that doesn't offer a V8 in the U.S. after 2021. Graded year says, I'm still up in the air whether that's going to happen or not. Oh, 57 minutes. I've made it. I'm going to flip these last comments, and then I'm going to pour myself in my chair because, running out of energy. Sorry to keep it low-key energy tonight, guys. I'm doing what I can. Extra video coming, aftermarket exhaust from new rig. Yeah, on the 3.3, on the 3.5, I don't think there's going to be anything there. It's not big enough displacement to do much. Probably some more TVs and toasters by 10 than cars. Yeah, Mitsubishi is an interesting company. There's actually many different iterations of it. Mitsubishi is like a Coca-Cola name in the United States. Many different versions of it. That's cost cutting, standard now for powertrain. Unless I have a quad deer. Oh, the snow plow. Yeah, I still want the snow plow. What are your thoughts about the rumor of only one GM powertrain, the 2.7 liter inline 4 with both 2023 model year for Colorado? Oh, that's rumor's gone away. GM has confirmed they will have a diesel. Rick says, you got the backward, Tim. You have to be an old guy to like the V8. These kids nowadays just don't care about that. Well, most don't. There's still a few young gearheads out there. I know. A lot of my cousins still like the V8 though. They're younger guys. I think there's a groundswelling of guys that want it. You know, I don't think that that's true so much. But it's growing. The market's growing and changing. What's going to happen then to the old 60s? Oh, they'll just be restored, classic stuff. Dream F-150 3.5 Eco Max Tow XL cooled seats. I got a swamp even in the winter. Can't buy it anywhere unless Enterprise gets it. They literally get everything. Yeah, some of those truck combinations of the Ford are really hard to find. Shout out to the Tundra. All right, so Bud Guy, do you know what sells better for the GM, the 2.7 or the 4.3? Honestly, if you look at what dealers are offering, offering for Ford, I would say Ford's with 2.7. GM will not give me breakdown numbers on engines unless they're promoting something. They won't do it. But yeah, they will do that. There was a 4.3. Yeah, no, I'm a little confused. Sorry, but I'm a little confused because I got to back up because the 4.3. There is no Rona that's watching this, Mike. No Rona. Maybe some Coors Light, but no Rona. I thought they got rid of I thought this 2.7, 5.3, and 6.2. I think the 4.3 went only to fleet. Yeah, that graded year says. I think the 4.3 is only a fleet engine because, like the mechanic said, a lot of those fleet mechanics want spec'd out basic 4.3, basic 6-speed. They want less complexity, and so I think that's what's going on with that. I'd have to double check. My brain's not working right, but I think that's what it's going to be. My favorite beer is the Lime Corona. I know. I may actually have one. All right. Hey, I made it. An hour. Cool. Stay tuned more week for tomorrow. The video on the F-150. It's really kind of cool. I thank Jill a lot for doing it. She did an amazing job. What she had on time constraints she had, and for her knowledge of towing trucks, I think she did a great job in the video. I hope you guys enjoy that. I will be doing a live stream next week before Thanksgiving, and then I will keep you updated in the truck shopping. Frankly, it's on pause. I got to find one, and I'm hoping to find one closer to Denver because the COVID cases spiking in my area are pretty serious, and the hospital's full. We have a lot of drama going on here lately, and Georgia's pretty bad. I've seen a lot of spiking, and so I'm a little bit concerned about flying places at the moment, but I got to have a truck. Got to have a truck. That situation. So there you go. Yeah, the work truck, custom, and custom Trail Boss. Those customs are all work trucks. There you go. So I will keep me in the loop. If you guys find a hybrid, send it to me, tim@pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. Thank you for being part of the channel, man. This stuff's awesome, and I really do appreciate your time. As always, I will see you down the road. Now I got to turn the camera off.